Follow me on this one. You found a new construction home. It's beautiful, it's modern, it has everything anyone could possibly want. And best of all, the builders told you that that beautiful home you just found, it's move-in ready. Here's what they're not telling you though. There are hidden costs that many homebuyers tend to typically overlook. And believe me, they can very quickly add up to thousands of dollars. But in this video, I'm gonna break down 7 things that most homebuyers are not expecting when they're buying a new build home. Oh, and wait till you hear the 6th one on this list, because for me, I find that this is probably the one that's the least considered on this list. Let's do this. Let's start here. Let's start with the base price, because honestly, this might be one of the biggest misconceptions. This is the price that when you're driving down the road or you're driving down the freeway or whatever, right? You're driving and you see one of the billboards for one of the builders and they list the price up there, or maybe even stop by one of the locations and they hand you a brochure and on there it lists the base price. Okay, 2 things with that. Number 1 is, I would never stop by the builder's location there without your agent present, because if you do, that builder, they're going to block your agent from being able to represent you. But number 2, and honestly back to the point of the video, and that is that price that you see on the billboard or on the brochure, whatever, that price, that is just the starting price when it comes to purchasing a new build home. Once you start adding up things like the upgrades, which can oftentimes be a little hard to turn down because they do look nice. Also, you have things like lot premiums, builder add-ons. I mean, just the bottom line is that I wouldn't look at the base price as the final price, because listen, I've seen it go up by as much as $30,000, even $40,000. And that's before we even start talking about closing costs or loan costs. Don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying that the base price is always going to go up by that much. I mean, listen, it could very definitely go up by much less than that. But it could even go up by a little bit more than that. It all depends on what kind of selections you make when it comes to your new build home. But just listen, the point though is just this, that base price that you see, the price on the sign that says, home starting as low as, I would definitely not look at that price as what you're going to pay when you do purchase your new build home. Hey, real quick, if this is your first time here, my name's Jose and I am your SoCal Realtor. If you are thinking about buying or selling a home, don't hesitate to reach out. My team and I, we've helped many people just like you, and we're here and ready to help you with your next move too. But enough about that. Let's go ahead and get back to the video. Now, the next one, we actually just hinted at this one just a second ago, and that is the lot premiums. And in case you're wondering, before we go any further, maybe you're wondering, okay, Jose, so what exactly is a lot premium?
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Simply put, that's just a premium that the builders charge for a home that's being built in a location that is considered a better lot. Meaning, if you meet with the builder and you look at their models and model number 7, right? I mean, that's the one you like, and they look, okay, well, that particular style home, we have 3 different locations in the community that is scheduled to be built in. And one of those locations, maybe the house is facing east. Option number 2, it's facing the opposite direction. It's facing west. And the third one is, I don't know, that one's a corner lot. It's very possible that you could be looking at 3 different lot premiums for each one of those homes. Even though they're the exact same home, each one of those lots, though, however, they present a different experience. And the lot premiums, that's not something that's usually advertised. Obviously, their goal is not to scare you or any other potential buyers away. I mean, their goal is to obviously have you come down and see their homes. But because of the different views you might get from one lot to another, or maybe, like I said a moment ago, maybe it's a corner lot, so you have a bigger piece of property, or maybe it's a cul-de-sac, just whatever it is, the lot premium is an extra charge to the base price, and it could range anywhere from maybe an extra $5,000 to as much as, in fact, I've seen it once even as high as $50,000. It all depends on the builder, the community, and of course the amenities you get, maybe the views, whatever it is. One more thing when it comes to lot premiums, if we look at a moment ago, I was talking about if you went to the builder and you liked model style, what did I say, 6, 7, whatever it was. But if you liked a particular model style home and you said, hey, that's the one we're interested in, they looked at the chart and said, okay, we're building that in 3 different locations, except 2 of those 3 locations, they've already been sold. There's only 1 left. Well, if you want that style of home, you're going to have to go with that one and pay the lot premium that's due for that home, no matter what it is. Yes, there are some situations where you may be able to negotiate some of that lot premium. It's just that in most cases, it's probably gonna going to be what it is. There's another one that I did mention earlier also, and that is the cost of the upgrades. Trust me, they do usually look really nice. Something to keep in mind, of course, is when you're touring their model homes at the community there, the model homes you're looking at, they usually, in fact, I'm going to say probably like 99% of the time, but they're usually going to have upgrades. Sometimes many upgrades in that home. From upgraded flooring to upgraded countertops to upgraded lighting to upgraded fixtures. There are usually going to be quite a few upgrades in that model home. And these upgrades, believe me, they can and will increase your final sales price. And in fact, the flooring alone, I mean, that could increase your sales price by an extra 10, 15, even $20,000.
Holy cow.
However, with all that said, of course, this one, it is a little tricky to add this one to the list because, listen, you don't have to have any of those upgrades. Unless, of course, it's a spec home that you're looking at, then, I mean, you don't necessarily get the same choice and options. But the point, though, is just you don't have to have any of the upgrades. There is, of course, the convenience versus cost debate because, listen, it's not uncommon to be able to purchase your home and have some of those upgrades done after you've already bought it, after you've already moved in the home at a cheaper cost than what you would have paid had the builder done them. However, yes, it may cost less to do it later, but let's say this. Let's say you bought your new home, you moved in, and now you decided we're going to get the new flooring now. We're not going to have the builder do it. We're going to have it done afterward. Well, now you got to move everything out of there, move all the furniture, maybe even move everything out of the house in order to allow the contractor to come in and put in your new flooring. The convenience factor. Even for things like upgraded countertops or cabinets in the kitchen, I mean, sometimes it can be worth to have it done now. Pay a little bit extra to the builder to have it all done now. My word of advice for you is just be sure that you weigh the convenience versus cost factor for you in order to determine what is it worth having the builder do now and what would you rather go ahead and do later on your own. Now, this next one on the list, this is not something that's going to happen every time you buy a new construction home, but I mean, it can happen. In fact, actually, more times than you might think. And that is the closing costs for a new construction home. They can be a little bit higher than you might pay if you were buying a resale home.
What is he talking about?
When you're buying a new construction home, the builder's in control of everything, meaning who's the lender, who's handling the escrow, who's handling the title. Yes, builders do tend to typically offer incentives, maybe $10,000, $20,000. In fact, I've even seen it even as high as $30,000 before, but that you can use toward things like upgrades for the home, maybe toward closing costs. Of course, to get those incentives, you are required to use their lender. But again, like I just said, there are cases where the closing costs for a new construction home, they might be a little more than if you were buying a, say for instance, a resale home. And could you avoid some of those? Honestly, I'm gonna say in most cases, not really. When you're buying a new construction home, again, it's like I just said, you're agreeing to use their escrow, their title, and if you want those incentives, their lender too. Another often overlooked cost when it comes to buying a new construction home are the window coverings and the appliances. They're not usually something that's included. Yeah, when you're buying a new construction home, I mean, curtains are not usually something that's going to come standard with the home, meaning either you're going to have to pay for window covering upgrades, whatever it is that the builder might have available, or maybe even use some of the incentive money that they're offering to pay for those window covering upgrades. Again, it just depending on whatever the builder has available, but it's either that or you're going to have to hurry up and go buy some curtains or just some sort of window coverings to put up in order to move into your home.
Why is everyone staring at me?
And of course, there's the appliances. And yes, some builders might offer some sort of an appliances package. In fact, actually, some might even be better than others. I would say maybe 60, maybe even 70% of the time, builders they'll offer some appliances. And listen, when I say they don't offer appliances, what I mean by that is just they might not offer a refrigerator or a washer or dryer. Sometimes a dishwasher or even a garage door opener is included. It's just that not always. Usually, and I'm going to say in most cases, you can anticipate the standard package anyway. You can anticipate your home to come with a stove and a microwave. Although if there is an appliance that doesn't come with the house, like a refrigerator anyway, but doesn't come with the house as part of the standard package, there may be a chance that appliance could be part of an upgrade package. And number 6 on this list, the one that I mentioned back at the beginning of the video that most home buyers don't anticipate, and that is delays. Of course, if you're buying a spec home, I mean, that's a home that's already been built, or maybe not built, but just about ready to be done being built, then sure, I mean, delays might not be something that you're overly concerned with. But if you're buying a home that the builder's not going to start building until after you've selected it, then sure, there is always the chance of delays for that home to be ready for you to move in. Potential delays could come from things like the weather, although here in Southern California, it's not like we get overrun with bad weather. But it could happen. I mean, if it were to rain for, I don't know, like a week straight, sure, I mean, that could certainly set them back. Another potential delay could be things like the materials or the appliances for the house. If the builder's having to wait for the stove that's supposed to go in your house, or maybe they're waiting for the tiles to put down on the floor that you selected, but you know, these are things that are on back order, they're delayed. Yeah, these are things that are outside of the control of the builder. You could also have delays because of city inspections. I mean, if the city, or in some cases it could be the county, but if they're backed up and they don't have anybody to send out there right away, then the builder's stuck. It's outside of their control. They have to wait until the inspector is sent out there to do their thing. Not saying that if something like this does happen, that it's absolute, it's a guarantee to delay the completion of your house. It's just that it could. And if there is a delay in the completion of your house, I mean, it could potentially cause housing issues for you. Here's what I mean. Let's say the delay for your new home to be completed, to be ready for you to move in, is going to be 3 weeks, or let's say a month. For this example, let's say the delay for your new home to be completed is going to be a month. Do you have somewhere you can stay for that month? Not saying that something like this is a regular occurrence. It's just that it could happen. And if you're doing this, if you're selling your house over here in order to buy your new construction home, which, first of all, quick side note on that, that's why it's so important to do things like timing your move. And a good agent will be able to help you put a good plan together for that. Of course, with that said, I mean, most builders are usually really good about giving you a good estimated completion date for your house back at the beginning of the whole process, and then giving you updates as the whole process unfolds, as they're building your house. So listen, if there are any delays that might come up for your house, you'll know, they'll give you that heads up, so you shouldn't be caught off guard with that. Now, two final hidden or unexpected costs are, number one, HOA fees. Most new construction homes here in Southern California, they are part of an HOA, and those HOA fees, they can run you anywhere from, I'm gonna say, $150 a month to as much as, $350 a month. And yes, not everyone loves HOAs. They do offer a number of benefits though, such as things like swimming pools, clubhouses, playgrounds, walking trails, parks, as well as making sure the neighborhood stays well maintained, which by default does kind of help protect your home value. And number two is Mello-Roos. Mello-Roos is a special tax that helps pay for public infrastructure in new development areas such as new roads, schools, fire stations, sewer systems, basically stuff that the city or county had to build in order to support those new homes. This is charged as part of your annual tax bill, and fortunately the good news is this doesn't usually last forever, but it could last 20 years. In fact, I've even seen it last as long as 40 years. It all depends on the community, or even more important than that, it all depends on how new the development is around that community. How much is Mello-Roos? I would say this, to best estimate it, I would say you're probably looking at an extra $2,000, maybe $4,000 a year on top of your property taxes, which essentially works out to an extra $150 a month to $300 a month to your housing budget. Should you avoid a new construction home? I wouldn't necessarily say that. I mean, listen, a new construction home can absolutely be a great option. They're brand new. They have all the newest, latest, and greatest. They're completely untouched by anyone but you. Not to mention, a new construction home they're oftentimes going to be a lot more energy efficient than an older home. It's just the whole point with this video is just, I want to ensure that if you are going to buy a new construction home, that you're not going to be caught off guard, that you're not going to be unaware of some of these potential hidden costs that can come with buying a new construction home. Of course, if you have any questions at all, or if you are thinking about buying or selling a home, new construction or not, my contact information is below. Feel free to reach out. Otherwise, until then, we'll catch you on the next one.